My name is JermaineTheWolf, aka Scooby-Doo here, and today I have a heavy heart talking about Infinity War. Now, what I want to mention is some of the people who do die in the movie already have sequels planned, and they really didn't even die. It's more so they just went away. So just think of it more like that. Think of they just went to another dimension. Like Black Panther, obviously one of the top grossing movies of all time. They're not gonna kill Black Panther. Spider-Man just got in it. He did good in his movie. Falcon is Falcon. Actually, Falcon or Bucky are probably gonna become Captain America, so he might kick the bucket. Like the movie itself, if it wasn't a Marvel movie and you haven't watched any previous movies that have come before it, you'd probably think, oh, this is an okay movie. And if you don't know who the characters are especially, then you'd probably put this as a 7. But from the action, because the action is pretty good, the story is pretty okay, even though you don't really know who's who or what is what really. The movie does do a good job for newcomers who may be their first time. I don't know why this would be your first time watching a Marvel movie, but your first time, because everybody starts somewhere. I think everybody starts somewhere. This would be your first time watching an actual Marvel movie, and they do a good job explaining the severity of Thanos, having him kill the previous villains and taking control of them, such as Captain America's foe, Red Skull, killed Loki with his bare hands, was the villain of the first Avengers movie. So they just really put that as a show of oh yeah, you don't want to mess with him. Leaving the theaters, even though you know that these characters are coming back, it doesn't make it any less traumatic. When probably the most traumatic death inside of the movie itself is when Iron Man is holding on to Peter Parker and Peter is calling out to Mr. Stark that he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go. And he started this day off on a school bus. Now he ends up dying, essentially. And earlier that day, he became an official Avenger. Mr. Stark knighted him in. That was pretty nice. But yeah, that was probably one of the most traumatic deaths. And then Marvel also, it's Marvel went to Pixar, was hey, teach us your ways. And then Pixar was I got you, fam. Don't worry. We're finna put all the tears into this movie. They pulled back, and they were yeah, man, they had Thanos. You almost felt compassion for Thanos throughout the movie. You're probably he's one of those villains who probably have a point, but they're not doing it correctly. They know that there's a limited amount of resources. They know that people have needs that need to be taken care of. But he, much like Magneto, he's not doing it the same way. He's not doing it correctly. You shouldn't kill people randomly. He justifies his killing of 50% of the population of whatever planet or universe he's taking over. He justifies it by saying, I'm doing it randomly, so from the rich to the poor people alike, you're doing it randomly. That doesn't justify you killing. If you should find and probably have these planets work together to try to make or build more resources and build bridges than to just destroy half a planet. Because what are you going to do when that amount of people need more resources than it is, because they just be using it so generously now that half the population, and then it's going to window down till there's nothing left. So really he should probably think of a better way, and that's probably why by the end of the movie he feels remorse for what he's done, because not only did he have to kill half of the universe's population, not just heroes but people themselves, such as Nick Fury, Bucky Barnes, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, to his own daughter, which we get a background for that in the movie about how he was going to invade a planet. He saw the girl, she reminded him of him, so he decided, you know what, I'll take you in. But by the end, he has to give her up to save the world. So almost, if you look at it from your own perspective, Thanos is kind of a hero, sacrificing himself for what he loves, or he loved the most, apparently, in the world, which was Gamora, from torturing his only other daughter, well, not his only other daughter, but what, another daughter that he had, Nebula, to get information from Gamora. Shows how dedicated he was. There's no real reason in this movie, because it's the first part, to really go over plot points. Cause, like, okay, so like for this episode, it's not like a theory-based anything, but like the plot almost is worthless. Not in saying like obviously it's not a movie without the plot, but like more so what he does and just like the reasonings of it which make up the plot are just so important, and like basis of like the next movie. That's probably where we're gonna get like most of our stuff going now, and like the actual, I guess, fights and stuff, because it wasn't really a whole lot of fighting in this movie compared to like, I'd say, like the first Avengers, or maybe even the second. Because in this, it's more like their own like little personal battles, just to like fighting Thanos or one of his children. Not to say that it doesn't have any action in it, but it's like, it's a moderate amount. It's not like its basis is action. Like they said, it's supposed to be 60 plus heroes. It was not 60 plus heroes. It was like 20. So probably in the next one is where they're really going to bring in like the heavy hitters. Probably like the people from like the Netflix series, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. They're going to bring those characters in. Really, to sum up Infinity War, I'll just say what happened when I was in the theater. People were happy. People cheered. People were surprised. People were sad. People were like, wait, you playing? Just chill out, fam. That's what I said. Don't go into this movie with expectations, because then it'll ruin the movie for you, because they'll be like, oh, why didn't this happen? So, really, it's a really good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good movie. Don't have your expectations be blown out of the water, but don't think that you're going to have all your questions answered. That's the good thing about Marvel. They leave you not on just a cliffhanger, but they allow you to theorize and think of the movie, and not just leave anything left out in the open. So, thank you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check out our Patreon. And make sure you check out our other videos. Thank you. Peace out.